Hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and amused from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth who refused to belong. No name nuisance, stews in a bedroom, booze in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone out to the yap of the magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you get to, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving the light, I left some will, the spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was blooming addiction, a missing a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil ever linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin. Capture a map of a gesture. Back up, add a little accurate fat to the figure. Redo that, move that inward. Zinc white lightning shoots from his fingers. Studio strewn with illusion and tinctures. Stay tuned for the spooky adventures. You can imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion reads as warm and alive.
Larry, from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL, there's a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And off we go from Lambeau. Tyler Lockett now with a return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On first down, Wilson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20 at the 15.
Well, I tell you, you can't fault the pass protection here. He had all day to throw, and he just couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. And quarterbacks will tell you that after a while, they start getting antsy back there. So this is just a great job defensively to stay with these receivers as long as they did.
And incomplete to open things up. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yes, into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Browner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now the fourth-year man from Texas A&M, Christian Michael. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field. The emergence of Thomas Rawls out of Central Michigan, chalk one up for the scouting department of the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year averaged 5.6 yards per attempt. But Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Packers pick it up.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Cliff Averill in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. He's got time in the pocket, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Dayton Jones makes the stop defensively.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
To throw is Wilson. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. They come up in an offset eye. Wilson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
They'll try and throw for him with Wilson. And hauled in by Helfit. Give him 7 on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there, making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
So each quarterback with an interception here in what was a mistake-filled first quarter. 0-0 our score. Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They go again with Rawls. And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
So while we have a moment here, Charles, intriguing matchup. So week 3 in the preseason. I know that you saw the Tennessee game. You thought that was pretty interesting.
It was, because Oakland's one of those teams we've talked about the entire offseason is making a playoff push. And having Derek Carr at quarterback gives them a leg up, throwing to Amari Cooper and the rest of the crew. And they didn't look bad on offense, but they didn't look as good overall as a team as maybe we expected. Conversely, Tennessee, who went to Oakland and beat them, not many people have hopes for the Tennessee Titans this year. But guess what? They look pretty darn good, and Marcus Mariota's made great strides in year 2.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A strong running. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something these last 2 minutes.
So we got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. And they're going to speed things up here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Off the play fake to Lacy. Here's Rodgers. He completes it to Jordy Nelson. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And Nelson recovering from that ACL back at practice. They're going to be cautious, of course, not using him in the preseason, but should be ready for week 1.
And that's smart by them. Make sure he's back for the regular season. Yes, they might miss a little bit of timing in the preseason, but he and Aaron Rodgers will work on that in practice, off on the side by themselves. Plus, they've got some pretty good equity built up over the length of their career. Get him back, ready to go, one of the best receivers in the league.
All right, Charles, let's switch gears to preseason injuries, always a hot topic. Look at the Chargers, 2 Achilles injuries out for the season, both their tight end Jeff Cumberland and Brandon Oliver as well.
2 key players for them, and Brandon Oliver, I mean, he's a little rock when he runs the football, and they're going to miss him both running it and in special teams. And don't forget Benjamin Watson, who went to the Ravens this year, one of the better pickups for them. He's out for the season after an Achilles. I'm not a doctor. I can't play one, but I have heard doctors say the guys are getting bigger, stronger, faster. The Achilles is really bearing up some pressure now.
Just need you to be careful on the Stepmaster at the hotel, okay? We don't need you going down with an Achilles injury.
I agree totally. I'll do my best.
Here's Tim Mastay now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. It's caught, Lockett. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. On 1st down, Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, I'm going to resist laughing just because his name is Ha-Ha. But Ha-Ha Clinton Dix, Excellent coverage there. Man coverage knocked that one away.
Real name Hashan. He's from down in your neck of the woods in Orlando.
Yeah, went to Dr. Phillips High School and then matriculated at the University of Alabama and played at a super high level at both places and is doing the exact same thing now in the NFL.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Paul Richardson, as the first half is winding down, and the Seahawks have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. Set to return, this is Jeff Janis. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's got time. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off. Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Now it's Janis. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
It finds Randall Cobb on the completion. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Finding time. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. And while we've got a little break here, a big note from around the league. Joey Bosa, third pick last year's draft. The holdout is over. He signed this past Monday.
And we haven't gotten used to first-round holdouts. In fact, we haven't gotten used to holdouts in total because of the way the system works nowadays about who goes where and how much money's there and the whole deal. So this has been quite a surprise, but great news for San Diego Chargers and their fans and their ability to compete in the AFC West. A big-time pass rusher who plays the run as well. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Looking deep downfield, and it's knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, what we just saw there is something we hear from coaches throughout the league. How are you going to defend what they call the moment of truth ball, meaning a 50-50? The ball's in the air, defender's there, receiver's there. Who's going to make a play on the football? And in this case, the defensive guys actually got it done and knocked it away.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Tim Mastay now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And good to see Jimmy back out there moving okay after the ruptured patella in Week 12 last year. You've dealt with that injury, haven't you?
I have, and let me tell you, you know that expression, I feel your pain? I felt Jimmy's when it happened. Now, mine didn't happen quite the same way his did. His happened in the line of duty. He was playing in a game. For me, I was just coaching. And went up to try and catch a pass. Poof. I think for me, it was just mainly age. For him, he was actually playing.
But good to see him back out there healthy. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. On second down, here's Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They come up in an offset eye. There's Wilson. And able to find Graham. Complete. 7 yards on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. And quickly they get to the line. First down, this is Rawls. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And it is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, They are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Caught by Nelson left side. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nice completion on an out route. And those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Surveying the field. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15.
It's hard to believe when we look at the numbers that our statistician Marvin has given us about Aaron Rodgers today, that he's been held to this few. That's not normal for him.
And that explains the scoreboard, doesn't it?
It really does. As he goes, so goes his team. And he is just absolutely scintillating, but it's still not over for him yet.
Now Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's 2nd down. Off the play fake to Lacy. Here's Rodgers. And this is caught at the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out here in the I. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done. Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Sam Barrington. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Throwing now is Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Rodgers going to throw. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding 3rd and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
going to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Packers defense, they ready themselves here. They've certainly got something to build off of. They had the interception last time out.
And now they have to just make sure they're cognizant of not trying too hard for interceptions. Once you get one, it makes you a little more antsy to try and get another one. Now they got to be careful of double moves, different things like that against them. But they like the momentum that they've begun to build.
We'll see if they can keep that momentum going. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. On 2nd down, Rawls. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Now that's a decent amount of aggressiveness right there. Inside their own 10-yard line, they still run the toss, even though they know that that can be a little bit of a dangerous play, and it pays off pretty well with a nice run.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise,
down the numbers. There he goes. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. It's a big play there for Seattle. 72 yards.
Just keep the ball on the ground. Do a little pounding. Chew up some clock. If they can get it in, that might be enough to get them home. And if not, the clock is definitely their friend.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On the ground, Rawls. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 2nd and goal to go now. Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line. And only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed. Because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They come out here in the eye. To throw is Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well. And every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Seattle defense getting set to go. They're just looking for one final stop here, put a capper on this affair.
Get this game over with. That's all they're talking about. It's that simple. Finish this thing off, and let's get to the locker room and celebrate.
Celebration, that's what they're hoping to do soon, but still a little work to do.
Check. Crunch. Crunch. Crunch.
To throw is Rodgers. He's got time in the pocket, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety.
Turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin.